Okay.
Ew.
Hey guys.
Okay, let's do this. Especially making me little cocktails. We'll set that right here. Hi everyone, it's Carly. Welcome back. Today I thought I would do my Q&A for you guys. I asked you on my Instagram and here on YouTube to get involved and ask me some questions, and you guys asked me some great ones. So yeah, let's get right into it. Getting comfy from this Q&A. So maybe I'll start with the ones that I got on YouTube, because those ones are some great questions. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Tori Clark here on YouTube, thank you so much for your question. She asked me, where am I from? And from Salt Lake City, Utah. That's where I've been my whole life. I was born in California, but been here forever. What is my favorite drink? And this is her question as well. She asked me a couple different questions, but my favorite drink is probably water. I just normally get water. I don't like to drink other things when I'm eating. I feel like it messes with the flavor of the food, if that makes sense. So I just drink water, and that's pretty much my fave. Or like kombucha every once in a while. That's a fun drink to get. Every once in a while I'll slip up and get like a Coke, but for the most part, just water. And the last question from Tori is, what countries would I like to visit? And this one is such a hard one because I would just love to visit everywhere, but my main one, of course, is Europe. So hopefully that's in the near future. So thank you so much, Tori, for your questions. Rose Sharples on YouTube, but she asked me what camera and lighting do I use? And the camera that I use is the Canon 70D. That's the one I use. I know nothing about camera equipment or anything. That's just the one that a lot of YouTubers use, and so I got it too. And then for lighting, normally I just use natural light. I haven't purchased my own lighting, so I'll just use natural lighting. And then Sebastian has some lights that we use. Like right now I'm using them, but we'll use them when we film any of the videos at his house. We'll use his lighting. So I don't know what they are or what it looks like. The brand is Emart? I don't know. So mostly I just use natural lighting. But thank you so much, Rose, for your question. It is also 60 degrees here and I'm dressed as if it's winter. Okay, let's get into the questions that I got from Instagram. Okay, and my friend Alex Carlson, who also did this beautiful, I'll show you guys, this beautiful canvas. What is this called? Calligraphy? I believe. She did this for Sebastian. She's super, super talented. So I'll have her linked below if you guys want anything. If you're local to Salt Lake, I don't know. She has an Etsy shop, so I'll just link her. But okay, so she asked me my ideal laid back day. This is like such a fun question because I'm such a lounger and I love to be lazy. And so I think my ideal laid back day is a pair of good pajamas, because I like cute pajamas, sitting on a couch, watching a good movie with Sebastian. Probably I'm watching Bride Wars, because I love Bride Wars. I'm eating chips and salsa, chips and queso. We have cupcakes on the side just in case I have a sweet tooth. Just like a TV lounge Netflix day. I want it to be snowing outside, so I don't have to drive anywhere. We have good snacks. Yeah. That's my ideal laid back day, just food and a good movie. Next question is from my friend Rox. Thank you so much for asking me a question and getting involved. She asked me, what is your biggest motivator to do more than the average? And this one is a pretty easy one for me, just because I think that my mom is a huge motivator to me. She's just, for most of my life, grew up in a single parent household, watching my mom kind of do all of the roles for us. And so she's my biggest motivator. I want to be successful for her, to be able to give back to her. I always say the first big check that I get, I want to buy her a house and just make sure that she is good. And I don't know, I just think she is a motivator to why I want to be successful in life and be happy and just work really hard. She's been a good example to me my whole life. And yeah, I just love my mom and she's my biggest motivator. So that would probably be my biggest one. Marilyn, my sweet friend Marilyn, hello, I love you so much. She asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? And these questions are always so hard for me because life never pans out the way that you want it to. I think that everyone sooner or later will learn that lesson. So it's hard for me to like want to throw it out there of what I hope because it may not happen. And not in a bad way, but you know, you don't know what it's gonna be like. But in 5 years, I'll be 26. Oh my God, I couldn't do the math. I'll be 26 years old. Hopefully, me and Sebastian are married. I would love to be married by 26. Hopefully, I'm working independently for myself, whether that be YouTube or something else that I come across. But hopefully, it's in a creative field where I can just be myself, work for myself. That would be nice. I hope to have lived in another state by that time in 5 years. And yeah, I don't really know. That's kind of where I hope my life would be. I don't think I would want a kid by 26. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say, but I always like envision myself having kids a little bit later in life. I always just want to I kind of like my selfish time now, and so I want to get that all out of the way before I settle down and have some kids. So that'll probably be like 27 when I have my first kid. I don't know. But like I said, life never really goes the way that you want it to, but that is where I hope to see myself. Priscilla, my friend Priscilla, she asked me what era would you time travel to and what would you do there, which is a really interesting question. And I've always said like I wanted to be an 80s teen. Like I wish I could go back to the 80s and their style's so cute. I would probably go to like a cute diner or like a cute little football game. It would be like Friday night football game. We're all like a cheerleader. Basically like my high school life, but in the 80s. Can't Buy Me Love and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Those are like some of my favorite films, and so I think I would do that. I like a little poof in my hair, you know? I don't know. That's what I would do. My dear Sebastian, he's so cute. He asked me, what has been your favorite moment of 2018? This one I've been thinking on because I saw that he asked me this a while ago. And it's so hard, but I think I want to say his birthday. I loved his birthday this year. I thought it was and it was fun to be able, like, right after to go to Park City, like our little Valentine's Day weekend. That was fun. But yeah, I really think his birthday is going to be, is my favorite of 2018 so far. I mean, we're only in March, so we're pretty new, but that was my favorite, being able to celebrate him. I just loved it. It was so fun. And then he also asked me, what was your first date with Sebastian? So that's one of my favorite stories to tell because I just love it. It's so cute. So our first date was on my 17th birthday, and there's a little bit of a backstory because I have had a crush on him since I was in 7th grade. We lived in the same neighborhood, and I would like watch him walk home from school and just be like, I was obsessed with, he had a girlfriend, and I was like, you know, whatever. You kind of just get into, like, you get into a new work of friends, and he had a girlfriend, so I was like, whatever. But then in high school, we like met through a mutual friend, and then on my 17th birthday, he took me out, and he used to drive a stick, so he picked me up, and he was driving a stick, and I remember thinking like, he is so hot driving that car. And we went to the sushi place, which, looking like back on it, I remember feeling like I literally hate this. Like, I hate eating sushi. Well, I don't hate eating sushi in front of people, but like your cheeks get big and you're like I can't use chopsticks. So I just remember like walking in and being like, I want to die. But I think at that point, like I would have been nervous eating anything just because I was on a date with him. But we went and got sushi, and then It wasn't awkward at all. Like, I ate the sushi perfectly fine. And then we went to this little coffee place kind of next door and we got coffee to go. And then we went to, for those of you that live kind of like where I live in Salt Lake, we went to Daybreak. It's like this cute little community, whatever. And he let me try to like drive his car. And I remember like, at one point I had to like sit on his lap so he could like show me. It was like, and then afterwards, so we did that for like our date was like so long. I remember it being like all night long. And then at the end of the night, we like went to the soccer field and just like talked a little bit more, and then he took me home. It was so cute. We didn't kiss on the first date, so it was just it was such a good first date. And I remember afterwards, I remember telling my friend, like, if he never talks to me again, or if like he never wants to take me on a date, like that, I would be so happy because I got the one first date that I've ever wanted. And I like would tell her, like, I feel like I'm on Make-A-Wish Foundation. Like, I was that obsessed, and it was the best. And sometimes I still like, I mean, not sometimes, of course, all the time I feel super special, but there's like certain dates where I'm like, oh, if he never talks to me again, like, at least I got this last date. Like, it's so weird, but yeah, that was our first date, and it was a lot of fun, and I feel very special every time it's my birthday. Like, it's another celebration, and I love being able to share it with him. So cheers to Sebastian for such a good date. Those were Sebastian's. Oh, I think he had another one. He like asked me 47 questions, which I appreciate because that's just his support. Let's see. Oh yeah, so he asked me if I could live anywhere in the world, where would I live? And that is, of course, the UK. I think I would just, or like New York. Those would be like my two. Like, if I could go kind of back and forth, I would have like a house in New York, and then a house in London, because I don't know why I feel so connected and deeply, like, I feel like I have roots there, that I was meant to live there and be there. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Okay, and my last couple questions, because I've been like chatting for so long, and these ones are gonna be long, so I'm like, I gotta save these for last because I'm already sweating even like thinking about them. So Dose of Dre here on YouTube, she is like such a sweetheart. If you guys haven't found her channel, you should go. I'll link anyone that I mentioned, I will link them down below. But she's darling and she's so cute. And so she asked me two questions. She asked me my embarrassing story and a fave childhood memory. And I think I'm gonna start with the childhood memory because the embarrassing story like is literally making me break out in hives. But one of my favorite childhood memories, which is so, again, I've been thinking about this one because I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna say because I truly did have such an amazing childhood, and I feel so lucky because, you know, not many people do. And I had like great friends that I'm still really, really good friends with. And I had like a great experience. School was always good for me. My home life was always great. And I just got to I was involved with dance. Like, I got to do a lot of fun things as I was a kid. But one of my favorite childhood memories is in 2005, my family, we lived here, but my dad got a job opportunity to be a store director for Smith's, so it kind of moved us to, there were a couple different places that we were going to move, and I remember one of them being Las Vegas. I can't remember the others, but we ended up moving to Elko, Nevada. And for any of you that have ever driven through there, you know it. Well, I think now it's like poppin'. They have like a Starbucks now, and like, I don't even know, I haven't been there in years, but when we went there was a Smith's, like a burrito place that we would always go to, and a Walmart. Like, it was small, and I remember it being like, I remember my mom just not wanting to go. Like, there was no mall, there was nothing. Like, it was so small. And so it was just the four of us, and we had to move. When I was 8 years old, we moved out there, and it's like a bittersweet memory because that's the last time that we all were together with my dad. And I think that that's why it's one of my favorite, because it's so weird how life, like what I was saying, like, it just forces you to make a decision and change your life. And we had to move there, and we were not happy about it. And it was during the summer, so we weren't involved in school. It was just me and my sister with my mom all day, like, and we used to like come up with the craziest games, and we would like have so much fun in our little apartment making the games, and we would watch like from Justin and Kelly, if you guys ever seen that. It's like this musical. Oh, my legs are asleep. We would watch this movie every single day. We would learn the choreography and we would do it all day long. And we would go visit my dad at work for his lunch. And then afterwards, like we would come home and we would eat. I just remember like we would sit on the balcony and we would eat ice cream, and we would go on fun little trips. Like we went to Lake Tahoe during that time before he passed, and we went to, I don't remember if it's Idaho Falls. I think that's where we went. I don't know, I can't remember. Which, I don't know why it's my favorite memory then. I clearly can't remember it. But that's one of my favorites, just because it was the last time that we were all together, and we really didn't have anybody else but the four of us, and it was fun to be able to look back on that. And it's something that I do cherish now, that at the time that we had with him was just the four of us, and it was something really special. And I think my whole family can agree that we all really loved that we got to live there. At the end of the day, it was, even though it was small and we didn't have anything to do, I do really appreciate that time there. So that's a memory that will always be my favorite. My most embarrassing story. Hold on. Let's get comfortable. I cannot talk about this. I'm talking about this as Sebastian's in the room, so I don't know if he'll hear me and like laugh, because it's literally awful. Hold on. I need a sip of something. I'm so uncomfortable. Okay, I'm gonna keep it real. I am the most embarrassed person on the planet. Everything makes me embarrassed. Everything makes me uncomfortable. Like, I just can't even talk about them without getting uncomfortable. So I was gonna think of something like I fell in front of people, or, you know, I don't know, I choked on something at dinner. And no, I had to like come up with something that was so real and so embarrassing, because I want to keep it real. So a few years back, me and Sebastian, when he first moved out into his first place, like I was literally like feeling on top of the world. Like, my boyfriend is so cool. He has this house downtown. Like, I get to have sleepovers. Like, and we had been together at this time for like a good chunk of time. So like, you know, I was pretty comfortable with him, you know, and so, but I just, like, a little tidbit about me is I just cannot even think about A, going to the bathroom and someone hearing me, B, like letting one slip on purpose seems like so horrible to me. I cannot even, it makes me, like, I just am not that way. So just keeping those in mind, when you first start having like sleepovers with boys, like, at least for me, like, I wouldn't really sleep. Like, when we would like sneak each other into each other's bedrooms, like, you know, like you're sleeping, you want to stay up late with them, and like as I would fall asleep, like I would never ever let myself completely fall asleep, because I just don't want to lose control of myself, you know what I'm saying? I can't even say the word, but you know what I'm saying. And so when he moved into his own apartment, well, first of all, he had like roommates in one bathroom, so I would like spend the night for nights on end, and I would never go to the bathroom because I just literally, I couldn't even bring myself to go. Like, I just couldn't. So then, like, whatever. So when he first moved in, like, then I started noticing, like, oh, the more I stay here, I'm gonna have to really sleep. And like, that to me is awful. Like, and I always fall asleep first. So like, stories to come, whatever. And so there was this one night, like I said, we've been dating for a chunk of time. So it's not that I'm like nervous to be myself or whatever around Sebastian. Like, it's just who I am. Like, I will not do that. Like, I just will not do that. And so there was this one night, and we were sleeping, and oh wait, I don't even know how to say this. Okay, so one night I had been over there for God knows how many nights. Like, I basically lived there, but we had fallen asleep, and whatever, like I must have just accidentally, I can't say the word, I can't say that, I'm so uncomfortable. Like I accidentally farted in my sleep. Like I must have. But like I don't think it's really true. This is a story that Sebastian told me, so I really don't believe that it's true because that doesn't sound like me. But anyway, so that had happened. So then the next day I was sleeping over again, and we had gotten dinner. I remember we were like got dinner, we went down to his room, we were sitting on his bed, and we were gonna watch TV and eat dinner. And so like he wanted to go turn off the light, and at his old house he had like a light above us and like a pole one. It wasn't like a switch, no. So he had to like get up off of the bed, but like leave. So he got up off the bed to go turn off the light, but he had leaned on the bed, like his knee, to go put the thing down. And as he did it, like the bed made like a noise, and it like instantly reminded him. So he does, oh, I have to tell you what happened last night. And I like just knew, like deep inside, I was like, no, like we got in like a fight, a legit fight, because I was so embarrassed, I was so humiliated. First of all, I don't think it's that, like you can't talk about it to that person if they're sleeping. Like that's my number one rule. Like, hey, I didn't do it on purpose and I have no control, I'm sleeping. But that's besides the point. And so I just remember like being so ill, like my stomach was like so disgusted because he didn't even say the word. Like he didn't even have to. I knew exactly by the sound of the bed what had happened. And then I remember just like getting in a fight, and I was like, don't take it, don't talk about it, I don't want to hear it, I don't want to blah, blah, blah. And he was just like, please let me tell you. And so that is where my story ends. That is my most embarrassing moment, because there's just something about that makes me so uncomfortable. And like if someone else does it, like if Sebastian like were to do it, like it's just like cute, like I love him, like oh, like he's sleeping, whatever, like, but like me, I hate it. And so even still to this day, like it's still something like I cannot even think about. I sleep through the night though here. I've gotten over it. And now that we're gonna move into our like own place this year, I know like I am gonna have to go to the bathroom whenever I have to. And I'm feeling nervous. Usually I like look for the local Harmons or something, but whatever. That was my most embarrassing story and the end of my Q&A. So hopefully you guys feel more connected to me or know me a little bit better. Thank you for everyone who asked me a question. It was a lot of fun. So I'm gonna end the Q&A here. Thank you guys so much for getting involved. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I hit 200 subscribers and I'm so thankful. I get so excited. I remember when I had like 60 and I was like, whew, I am living. But 200 is such a cool accomplishment, so I'm so excited to see how many more we get and to watch my little community grow. So thank you guys so much for all your love and support on my videos, and I will catch you